Okay, so in the latest software version for the i-controls, the web interface on the LAN side has changed. This is the web interface you see when you're logged in from the LAN side. If you're not on site, you connect to it through the portal, but if you aren't, this is what you see. So in this case, the IP on it is 250.1. So we get a username and password pops up. The username is admin and the password is printed on the base of the unit. So I've entered the password that's on the sticker on the base unit. I sign in. So now that we're logged in, we get presented with this overview page basically. So the overview page will load the data on basically opening the page. If you want to keep an eye on it or check what's going on, just reload the page to have it reload. The reason why we don't have it automatically reload is because you may be looking at information like this down here and you don't want this disappearing on you. So if you click on any of the interfaces, you'll get a details of what's going on. So this has an exclamation mark, and the reason is basically there's no cable connected. We can go to the WAN, which is connected, and you can see it's enabled, you can see its latency, its basic throughput, the port speed, connections, the DHCP settings. Now, because this is a WAN connection, you can't make any changes to LAN side interfaces. You got to do them to the portal. But mainly what this interface is about is getting you in line. So you may have to change the WAN interface from DHCP to static or vice versa. So for that reason, if you click on the WAN interface, you'll see this button down here, change IP address, whereas when you click on the LAN interface, you don't get that button down here. So if we click on it and then click change IP address, you get this big warning about you should only make changes if you're unable to connect to the network, etc. Understand. You select DHCP or static IP and you fill in the details as required and click apply. Now, the thing with making changes in this, you're often best to make the changes and then reboot it. So I'm not going to go and reboot it just after making changes like that because I just want to demo in the video. So let's say you need an APN settings. You click on the radio. Again, you can see all the details about the radio here. But down the bottom, you get the change pin and change APN. So if the SIM card has a pin associated, you can input it here. And if it's got an APN, you can again input the details here and click save. When you've made all the changes you need to make to get online, my advice is basically to reboot it, because once you reboot it, it basically will flush out all the old settings and get online. It's very straightforward, this interface. If you've got a green flashing tick, it basically means you're online with this public IP. That means everything's good. Exclamation marks like this or a red X mean you've got a problem on your interfaces. Green tick means it's working fine. Same here, SIM cards are connected and working fine. Simple bars to indicate signal, and LTE is just another name for 4G. So all the raw information details is here. This is mainly for if you're calling support, that you can provide them with information, or if you need to check a SIM card why it's not connecting, let's say, and you want to contact the carrier, you can just simply provide these details to the carrier. The cell ID you'll see says unknown here. A lot of data SIMs don't carry a cell ID on them, so you'll need to give the IMSI or the ICCID to the provider. So that's pretty much it. It's very straightforward, very simple. It's intended mainly just to give you an idea of what's going on, and then you can reboot it if you need to, or make minor changes like the IP on the interface or the radios. That's the extent of what you're meant to be able to do. Every other change you make through the portal.